Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning. Well, it's Monday, so let's grab the links first. Yeah. Refresh. There's that link. And that's myself talking. That's my stomach. That doesn't sound too great. There's that. And that one. I should just use a permanent link. I don't know. We'll see. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. Okay, so let me show you the charts. E-minis up, Treasuries slightly down, but there was a big move up, which is kind of interesting. But the biggest mover was Bitcoin, starting up above 4,000, but coming back. I don't know if that's enough for them to make it to 43, but it seems awfully, man, that's really interesting, to say the least. So yeah, that's that. And then I don't know if we've got any like news pushing things, but I do see, so I've got a video coming out at 7:30. The politics video. And one of the things in the politics video was that Beto declined to release his fundraising numbers. Well, he just wanted to wait until Monday. So I thought that it meant that they were bad, but actually it meant that he raised 6.1 million in his first day. So yeah, that's gonna look bad, but you know, happens. Oh hey, they fixed journalytics a little bit, I think. Let me go to the day view. Wait, what? That's not what's supposed to happen. So do I have to access the journalytics? Do I have to pay extra money? What is this? Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Wow, we had a little move down there, didn't we? While I wasn't paying attention. Yep. Click here to upgrade. I guess it's a separate thing now. Boo. Well, it still gives me the warnings. Just doesn't give me the day overview. Well, whatever. Beto's website doesn't have a policy section. It's just a picture of him sweating profusely and merchandise. Well, when my video comes out at 7:30, um, you watch it and tell me what you think, because I thought that the uh, the stuff that came out about Beto being in a hacker group was looked pretty awful for a start. It kind of seems to me like the Democrat Party is just like a gunning for him. And yeah. So this 8K here is interesting. I'm wondering now, are they going to try and retrace all of yesterday's move? That could go all the way to 26. Oh, they just barely grazed it. That is the single print. This is very interesting. So we have FOMC this week, remember, right? And sometimes with FOMC we get these moves. But there's an 8K iceberg there at 26.5, preventing it from touching the single print. Well, yeah, especially since the media sat on that story for like 2 years. Well, I don't know if it was 2 years, but they sat on. I mean, that they sat on it is very damning to media. I don't think that they're talking about it. I mean, the conservative websites are, but man, I can't believe that didn't get out. And it's very it's really unfair to the Democrats. Honestly, like if anybody should be mad, it should be the Democrats, because they've put so much hope and effort into this guy, and then they find out that he wrote stupid poems and stories about running people over with cars and stuff. Nice fat iceberg at my buy entry. Someone else had the same idea as me. Oh, so you wanted to take 26.5 from the beginning, huh? Brexit. DUP says Arlene Foster in Northern Ireland and no plans for her to travel to London at this stage. Hmm. 1 minute warning. Do we have... Oh, we got Canadian foreign security purchases. My eye really itches. The media serves the Democrat Party is what's funny to me. They don't even hide it anymore. Well, I think the reason why they quote unquote don't even hide it anymore is because the media is very anti-Trump. And it really just all comes back to Trump. Otherwise, they would still be pretending to try and be unbiased, but they have decided that they make more money if they are just anti-Trump. Which kind of makes the whole other... You've been seeing a lot of stuff about the coordination between the Trump White House and Fox News is unprecedented and all of this sort of nonsense. Well, I don't want to say nonsense because maybe there is some truth that there's a little bit of what do we say? Uh, they have a relationship, let's say. Okay, here we go. Actual 28 versus expected negative 18. Well, that's why he was eyeballing the allegation. Well, I think that the taking it at the iceberg would have been a good trade. Um, Obviously, I was not too focused yet. I'm still not sure I want to take this either way, though. I mean, there's pretty wild trend both ways here today. I'm not sure what's causing it. Like, what caused that move overnight? That's really weird. I'm not sure I can trust. Plus, it's Monday, and if it doesn't actually end up trending, then it could end up being a really nasty trade. So I'm going to try and be really selective here and just see what happens. Anyways, but this whole thing about Fox is a campaign from Media Matters. That's why you're hearing about it, and that other outlets are like picking it up and talking about it only because of Media Matters. That's why it's like it's all of a sudden out of nowhere. It's a very like a coordinated political push against one media outlet, and other media outlets are participating very dishonest, in my opinion. This is the only way I can put it. I'm a little miffed about this jigsaw thing. It looks like if you want to use the Journalytics, that you got to pay $30 a month, and you're gonna have to give me a little bit more than that for somebody that already owns the license to want to pay $30 extra in addition to the live trade, which is like $50 extra, right? And I don't think that the live one includes that. Now, if the live one included that, that would be awesome. But I'm not going to pay extra for Journalytics. It's not necessary. I can export everything into a spreadsheet and do it myself if you absolutely force me to. Not a whole lot has hit 27. I want to see if they hit 27. Is there going to be another iceberg there? What about ZB? What's the difference here? Huh. ZB doing something weird because it says that the point of what do we say? It says that the bull bear zone is way up here, which is I don't think that's right. I'm gonna have it reload the data and see if it changes. Ah, that's better. Okay. We're below the bull bear zone. The bull bear zone is at 146. We got a single print. They came just short of their single print in ZB. What about ZF? Did ZF make it? ZF is like even further from the single print. Oh, this data's messed up too. Reload all the data over here. Okay. Yeah. 31. 31 in the 5-year. Well, that must just mean that, yeah, there is a little bit of steepening still. Anyways, I have a hard time seeing. Good morning, Lucas. I have a hard time seeing how, even if it was when he was a teenager, how do you get elected president with having that kind of stuff out there about you? You know what I mean? And I think that there's another thing, which is that I think that I'm not so sure that Beto has What do we say? Disposition necessary to win a presidential campaign. Yep, FOMC week. That's why I'm. So we came in here just to catch you up, Lucas. So we came in, and there was a really fast 4 tick move down off of. I don't know. I can't tell what caused it. Um, if there was some news or something. I mean, I don't see anything. But then we came down here, and just below the single prints, there was an iceberg. So I am. Those are both. Hey, Randy, welcome back. So I'm unsure about if we're gonna have trend downwards or if we're gonna stay up above that. And the thing is, FOMC week, we tend to get these weird trends, and this is not the normal action for FOMC, so that's why I'm still out. Normally, an 8K iceberg in that kind of location would be an okay buy, but the current context right now, I don't think it is. Maybe if it was an FOMC week, and then you got it on a Monday and in the later half of the month, and then especially if it was like April and it was the later half of the month, then I think you could definitely take that one long. But right now, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I was short bias below 30, but I didn't see any confirmation to jump on the move. Okay, well, that's interesting as well. So I just don't see a breakthrough in DUP government talks unlikely today. Did we see... not really a move in equities with it either. It is time to roll forward my Forex. Let's do that and see if that reveals anything. Okay. Well, the Japanese yen is moving with it. Euro's not moving. British sterling seems like it's moving down without us, actually. Oil zipping around a little bit. 6J's in a spot where it's hard to tell where it's going to go to. So I was watching a video of my stream the other day. Okay, here we are back down. They went through 26.5 without any resistance that time. Nobody's traded into 26 yet. Okay, there it is right there. 5-year really pushing down. See, this is exactly what I was worried about. Why I was worried about taking it long. Quick question, how much can you earn from this? As much as you want. It depends on how much you have, right? But if you have one contract, and is it worth it? Well, it's definitely worth it. So if you have one contract, it requires $500 in margin to trade one contract in the 10-year treasury, to like day trade it, right? And if I'm doing well and I have a good month, and a good month for me is not spectacular, but if I just have an averagely good month, I can make $500 off of that $500 in margin, right? Now, of course, you want to be conservative. You don't want to use all of your margin. So it's usually better to only risk like 1% of your account a day. So like if you had $5,000, and then you just risk one contract and you trade that, that's kind of the way that you want to do it. And then you can scale up. So, if you have if you're able to build your account up and you can trade 10 to 20 contracts, you could totally make a living off of it. But you got to keep in mind that, markets change. You're not going to win every month. I mean, if you're really good, I guess you could win every month. But for me, I don't win every month. I'm getting a lot better, but probably not going to win every month. But, over the course of a year, if you're batting high enough, you can totally make a living on it, right? Do you have 24 as support? Well, I don't. So the single print in ZB is 26. That's the one spot. ZB did come down there and try move with the rest of them, but it came back a lot more than the other ones, didn't it? I'm surprised that it's all the way back up at 30. There's a nice little dip in last week's profile that could provide an opportunity if the bids hold there. Oh, I gotcha. Libyan oil production has improved to 1.2 million barrels per day. Reaction in oil? Man, not really. I'm asking because I'm researching about an artificial intelligence to trade for me, but well, so here's the thing. It's a very competitive business, especially when you're talking about robots, right? So if you want to develop an algorithm, you develop the algorithm, you run some back testing on it, optimize it, then try running that optimized thing on a different data set, see what your numbers are. And you really want to have like good numbers, because one of the things that happens with a lot of robots when you do the back testing is you have something that's taking a lot of little trades that's very unreliable in back testing, because you're relying very much on whether or not you would have gotten filled, and the back testing might say that you got filled when in reality you wouldn't, because other algorithms might see what you're doing and try and compete with you. So I've backtested a couple of strategies, and while they've shown promise, I've never seen anything that was solid enough for me to go live with it. Then when you do that, you want to like just have the robot trade on sim for a couple of weeks to see that its performance going forward is equal to what you backtested, right? And any time that I've done that, usually doesn't hold up as well. And the problem that I've had is that a lot of those strategies tend to be like trend based, and they have a hard time telling where the trend is really supposed to be going, and you end up curve fitting it so that if the time period that you were playing was mostly up, then you curve fit the instrument to, be more favorable towards the longs, and then you run into a time of period, and you know it's not up, and you don't make any money. Peter Davies came to this business as a programmer and realized discretionary is the way to go. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is like my my own experience has been that if you're going to do a robot, you probably want to be taking the scalps, and in order to be effective in that space, you're going to need to be fast, and it's just too hard to compete with those high frequency trading firms. They have better connections to the exchange than you do. Takes long investments that I make that they fail in the demo accounts, and they always get in a bad curve. Yeah. Anyways, that's been my experience with robots. It's either that or you have to have a bunch of different strategies that together create a positive expectancy. Like if you have a bunch of trades that a bunch of different strategies that all swing trade together, and you have enough money to fund that many strategies. I've spoken to people that have made that work as well. Well, that's interesting that they touch 26 and they come back like that. But it's still in a place where it's very difficult for me to tell if they're going to go higher or lower. UK could be refused a Brexit deal extension, says a senior European chief. Yeah, that's not what you want to hear. Is the euro going to react on that one? It's not sure. ZB did take a tick higher to 31 and 146 evens. That's interesting. So now we're getting a little bit of divergence between the instruments. It seems like the 30-year wants to move up more than the others. So the 30-year is trying to flatten. And normally seeing the flattening, seeing the flattening in the knob would make me think that we could move lower. But I'm really not sure, just given the whole context of everything. I really don't know. Huh. All right, another tick up in ZN. This is really weird. Oh, it's not giving me all the YouTube comments again. Would a major move in crude affect ES or the Z's? Not quite. So if I see a major move in oil, that can have an effect on currencies. And then that would in effect influence treasuries. So there's not really like a correlation per se with oil. Like you can't watch oil and make a decision on treasuries or equities the same way you can like between equities and treasuries. But I think that it's still a good idea to keep an eye on oil. Just because oil is like the third component. You know what I mean? I haven't seen crude news affect treasuries so far, Randy. Yeah. But oil is like the third component, you know. If you were watching these two things, there are some times where they don't seem to be moving the way that you would expect and what's going on, and then you go and you look at oil and it makes sense. But they're not really like correlated. Yeah. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on oil here to see if the dollar moves, then oil is obviously going to be affected by that. But as it appears right now, even though there was a little bit of a move down in the 6J, the 6J is following very, very closely correlated with the treasuries right now. You know, if I show you this chart right here, let me switch screens. Here's this chart. So this one down in the lower left is the 6J, and do you see how it's moved, strong move down, and then a little bit of a tail right there back up, and you can see at the same spot in treasuries, you know, move down, and we've come back up a little bit. And equities mostly in the same place, so it doesn't seem to be driven by equities. It's just something between the currencies and the treasuries. So yeah. And on that, something that I would pay close attention to, something that I've found really, really helps, is that when it is the currencies that are moving it, the treasuries will just move. Like sometimes you'll get a move and you'll see like, okay, there's lots of market buying and they're able to push them up, and then it ticks and it goes back and forth, and it's just there's enough of volume to keep it going. And that is like there's something going on in the treasuries themselves, that they've created a trend or there's orders that are going through. But when it is the currencies, the robots will just make it tick up, and they'll buy whatever is there on the bidder offer and tick it up immediately. So when you see just like ticks, strong ticks that, you know, tick up, and even though it seems like it shouldn't tick up, they just go like it's no big deal. Those ones are the currencies. In my opinion, from Alligator, pullback to Thursday and Friday support, and today's overnight resistance. Not sure which way it will go out of this range. Yeah. Trudeau names Joyce Murray as Canada Treasury Board President after Philpott quit over SNC. Ian Duncan Smith thinks categorically no meaningful vote tomorrow on Brexit. Euro EOSD pushes towards the 100-day moving average but finds early sellers against that level. So yeah, it kind of feels to me like the currencies were making a little bit of a move, but then whatever came in, and it's mean reverting right now, and that leaves the treasuries in kind of a, no man's land. But here's the thing. It's FOMC week, right? So normally I see trends in treasuries themselves ahead of FOMC. Not necessarily always on the Monday, but very often Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before FOMC, especially Tuesday. And if it's currencies that are moving things and it's kind of like iffy, I think that may just mean that we're not going to move a whole lot on today. Perhaps there is just not a real reason for treasuries to be moving. They're not trading FOMC, then we would need something big to move currencies. That's what I'm thinking right now, at least. Do you trade FOMC mornings? Yeah, totally. But if there's a trend, I guess. That's the thing, is like, I don't know how they do it, but it's very often that they'll come in and there will be some trend coming in. I would think this time that it would be trend up. And then the FOMC meeting comes out and it's super, super dovish. And it's like, how did they know? It knows. I don't know if they have inside information or how they do it, but the market knows. Somehow the market knows. And they make big moves. But when they don't make big moves, it's super awful trading. It's super awful trading. So that's why right now, given we've developed this range since the open, I think I would prefer shorts because we haven't come even close to the open. Like the open is the high of the regular session, right? So I would prefer a short, but it's ranging right here. This could be really random trading, and so I think it's better for me to stay out. And since it's almost 7 o'clock now, my time, and there hasn't been a move yet, that also makes me think that it's probably better to sit on my hands. So we'll see what happens at 7:30. And yeah. I remember trying to fight a trend on FOMC day and trying to understand why my trades didn't work on my first month. Yeah. The thing is when I first started trading, people told me that you just don't trade ahead of the FOMC because it never moves. So I don't know if this thing that I've found where there tends to be some crazy trends ahead of the FOMC, I don't know if that's like a new thing, but that was painful, I bet. I remember when I first started trading, getting caught against the trends many times. And it still happens sometimes, but that's why you get that rule that rules to say when it is okay for you to what the trend is and when it's okay to trade against it. One of my rules is, are we above or below the regular session open? That one has been for me very, very good. And then also, of course, are we above or below the VWAP? Who told you that not moving part? I don't remember who it was. It was just some traders I was talking to was like, they're all waiting for FOMC, and so they don't trade, and so it's difficult trading ahead of it. But it's just the past 2 years that hasn't been the case. Beto O'Rourke raised a record-breaking $6.1 million. CNN Politics just tweets. Oh, we knew that much earlier. I feel really dumb because in my podcast I was like, well, he didn't want to say that must mean it's bad. So, well played, Beto. Well played. You got me. You got me. And you got me when I thought he wasn't going to run, and he did run. Which also makes me look silly, but, you know, yeah, that one happens. You're making predictions. You're going to be wrong a lot. Mm-mm. There's Russian industrial production numbers was what that beep was. Social media is a lot quieter this morning. I'm kind of hoping that everybody's had the weekend and a few nights to sleep it off, that at least in the United States, that the whole New Zealand shooter thing calms down, because I feel that there's just people are way too emotional about this issue, and that it's going to cause bad things. And by bad things, I don't mean like, oh, they might try and do gun control or something like that. I mean bad things like um, people are going to be pushed further towards radicalization because of the fuss that everyone's making. That's a real danger. Because I read that on Friday, I think it was. I read that the thing that guy wrote, and it's pretty scary shit. Like, the media is not really saying what's in it, because his ideas are just so evil. Like, they're really concerned that they say anything about what's in it that people will get ideas. So I would really prefer that people chill out, forget about it. There's another shooting. Yes, I did read that there was potentially another shooting, but I haven't seen a whole lot from it yet. So, yeah. Well, it was in a train station, right? Let's try and check in on that, because I do recall seeing that when I was eating breakfast. Of course, the Donald was the only one reporting on it. Yes, Netherlands. Mm-mm-mm. Breaking information is often incomplete or misleading and can quickly change. Thank you. That is good. I don't really see any additional information about it, but just people speculating if the shooter is going to end up being Muslim, but I don't see anything. Utrecht. At least one dead. Heavily armed anti-terror officers were seen gathering in front of an apartment block close to the tram stop where the shooting took place. So this guy may be on the loose. My back's still not doing the best. Excuse me. There we go. I don't know. Just the way that the train story is going, makes me think probably not gonna get too much attention unless like something further happens. Hmm. Well, we do have the NAHB housing market index at 8 o'clock. I guess we could pay attention to that. Tomorrow, factory orders. Anyways, so earlier I was saying I was watching my stream from earlier, and it sounds really good. Like the new audio settings that I put on it make a big difference, and it sounds really, really good. But then it's actually like too quiet. So I was like, oh, maybe I need to bring back the music thing. But then I don't know if the music thing was really working. So now I'm thinking maybe I could find like trading floor background noise, and play that, and that could be the background noise. That would be nice. That could be cool, right? Kind of neutral sort of a thing too. It's bad out there. Well, I say ever since we turned around at 26, the action has been super slow, hasn't it? So I think that the market has kind of decided that, yes, we're stuck in a range. And this is exactly where normally I would maybe try taking that trade and end up, frustrated and in a range, and then it eventually moving outside of the range against me. Yeah. Beto raised so much money online that he should change his name to Beto E. Rourke. Yes. Well, I think you're going to find in the future that politicians always raise a ton of money. Next time there's a Republican primary, I think you'll see a lot of stuff. Trading background noise from the flash crash to calm the nerves, right? Well, I had like, where is it? I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find the stuff that I had found. It was on. What's this one? This one's a different one. No, it was on Free Sound. It was this one right here. That's probably a little loud. I don't know if you can hear that. Probably can't, can you? I need to move this. No, not so big. Is it? Yeah, you can't hear that. Yeah, like that. I don't know if that would get annoying or not, but it was a thought I had. I guess I can just leave the desktop audio on, since we don't have a squawk going right now. I'll just leave it like that. Ace Trades says that I'm going to get in at 28, 30, 25 short, but don't follow me in. Oh, yes. Well, I forgot that now is when we want to get in. I don't think I've got a trade here, though. I think I missed the train. I should have been taking it short way up at 33. Here we go. Sellers trapped. Think we're gonna push to the upside, Adrian? I actually like that background noise. I'm going to go download it. I think I need to log in. No, but I have one. That was easy. Oh. Says that I have already. Okay, maybe. There we go. Here we go. There was one down here that was like a lot longer than the other ones. It's this one, I think. Yeah, it was this one. Did they break out there? Yep. 28.5. Because the E-mini moved down, but now the E-mini is back at support, so I'm not sure if it's going to go through or not. Okay, cool. IQ was asking me questions about the Vista chart, but I think that we got him sorted out. Settings, he got it. For the settings are under the DOM, like Auction Vista, like there. Okay, anyways. Wow, 88 megabytes for 2 minutes. High quality. Where is everyone? 1.1 million contracts? Is that really light? Oh yeah, it looks like they haven't moved very much at all this morning, have they? Well, it is Monday. North Sea Buzzard crude field output said still below normal. North Sea Buzzard field crude output said to be said to dip last week. Donald Trump. Joe Biden got tongue-tied over the weekend when he was unable to properly deliver a very simple line about his decision to run for president. Get used to it. Another low IQ individual. Why would you tweet about Joe right now? It's almost as if You want him to run and you want everybody to support him. I don't know. It's kind of weird. That that is a it's a little bit unusual for him to target Joe like that. Usually he would only be like hitting back, or he would be hitting somebody that, I just don't see the threat, like the reason to be talking about Joe. He's probably, I mean, the way that I see it right now, you've got Joe Biden, Beto O'Rourke, Kamala Harris, and Bernie Sanders. The base really wants Bernie Sanders, but I think that the party is going to try and put the brakes on again, because it would be very, very difficult for Bernie Sanders to win a general election. Bill Weld says he's going to run, or says that Biden is going to run. I mean, Biden is almost certainly going to run. They already have the campaign infrastructure set up. Like, it's not a secret. It's just kind of like, I don't know. They seem to think that there's a time when they want to do it that would be more advantageous. I feel like that after March, that the further along that you get, the less there's this idea out there that being the last person to announce is good, because then you get the media coverage from that and people remember you, and you don't get overshadowed by somebody else announcing later. But that's not really the case. There is a point of diminishing returns. Okay, Bill Weld is running. Well, the thing is, they for the debate, they are going to have 20 spots. If 20 people can qualify, and the way that it's looking from like the number of donors that you need to get and everything, we really could see 20 people in the first debates. And it'll be an absolute mess with that many people. Like, you won't be able to. I'm still slightly suspicious about this whole thing, because it seems like that ZB has moved much more than the other ones. You see how I haven't reset my DOM, and ZB is a little higher. Andrew Yang got in based on number of donors, or it was unclear to me if he had already gotten that many donors, but it seemed clear that he was going to, like that. Let's see. So when we flatten, we usually move down, but we are getting a bull flattener, which is why ZB moved up more. So if we really are flattening and we get more trend, that trend may be downwards. So I'm not sure. We're probably still going to be really stuck and slow until equities open. Okay, my background noise has finished. Let's see if I open this up and I just make it really, 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 there you go. And then how do you do it? Repeat. There you go. Even less than that, like 5. There you go. What do you think about that? Annoying? No. I can hear them saying numbers. I'm wondering if that would like subconsciously affect us. Oops. There we go. There you are. The Andrew Yang thing is interesting because he had a thing on his website that was like showing how many donations he had gotten, and it wasn't real. Oh, you can't hear it at all? At all? You should hear it. It just might be like super quiet, right? Well, I have to watch the video afterwards and see. I could turn it like do you hear it now? Now it should be like way too loud. That's like -10. I just want it to be like -30. That's perfect. No, well, neither of you can hear it. That's weird. Oh, do I have... I think I know what's wrong. I need to come in here. Desktop audio should be monitor off. There we go. Now you should be able to hear it, right? Maybe even a little bit quieter than that. There you go. Still no? Monitor off. Yeah. Should be able to hear it now. What the hell is that? Fight Club? No, it's a recording from it's this right here. It's this recording from a stock exchange. So I think for it to be like a proper proper trading floor noise, we need the sound of the phones ringing. That was when I worked for Goldman Sachs. Yes, it's a trading bit. When I worked for Goldman Sachs, they got like these Cisco phones. And the technology people for some reason didn't know this, but you can like go into the phone and change the sound. And they had like 12 different rings. And they're all really good sounding rings. And, you know, so the traders would switch their phone to be a different sound that was different from all of the people around them, so that they knew when it was their phone. And those things were always ringing. Like, even if it was like Friday night after hours, I was helping a friend do something with the technology that my group was doing, and those phones were still ringing constantly. Just all these phones ringing all the time. I think we need to focus on the fact that I can now get out of my shitty profit position with a profit after 30 minutes of sweating out a bad trade. Oh, because you did go short and it, you're able to get like 2 ticks out of it, huh? So I think the short was good. It's just it needed to be at the top of this. That's why I looked at it and I was like, oh, I do like to take an E-mini trade at this time, but it's too close. I don't know. It just bothered me when I was watching the video. Like, the silence was just too much. I was like, I can see having just a little bit of background noise might be good. But we'll see what you guys think about it. Like, the thing was the background music, I really liked the background music, but my determination on the background music was that it was too difficult for me to get a large enough library of royalty-free music to do that. Plus, the music that was royalty free wasn't very good. Dutch police warn of 37-year-old Turkish man after Utrecht shooting, warn not to approach him. Okay, so we have learned shooter is still on the loose, and he's Turkish. This man. I just want people to calm the F down. There's okay, you're not gonna get killed by a mass shooting. The people that do these sorts of things, you know, the number of white supremacists out there is a very, very small. Granted, it has been rising, but this is a very, very small group of people. There's not going to be genocide or any of that nonsense, okay? And even on the Muslim side, like, the number of people that do this is a very, very small number of people. It is not something that you need to get emotionally, worked up about. And all I'm seeing online is just hysteria everywhere. And that's just going to get people, that's just going to get these people that are crazy and are going to do that. It's just going to radicalize them more and make them more likely to do it. You're preaching to the choir, bro. This shit doesn't faze me. Yeah. I think that being a traitor kind of changes your feeling on those sorts of things, so. But I also feel like that people are trying to amplify it because they think it helps them politically, and it's just not. Man. You're right. Probably none of you guys are probably, this is probably not too helpful for, but if there's people out there, don't amplify it, guys. It's bad. It's very bad. Like, we haven't seen something really bad happen. Something really bad could happen. Let's not amplify it. If it doesn't fuck with my money, I don't fuck with it. I wish I could read that in a good New York accent, but I don't have a very good New York accent. Mass shootings don't move markets, wars do. He's 37 years old too. That's old. No offense to anybody that's that old, but that's old for a shooter. Ooh, what is this? CME Group. We're excited to introduce our new API streaming service that will enable clients to get trade information, market impact, and alpha calculations on a trade-by-trade basis. Click to learn more. Quant Analytics Pro platform introduces FX Market's first API streaming service. Expected to launch second quarter of 2019. Using benchmark data taken from the entire EBS ecosystem, the Quant Analytics Pro platform provides insights that allow clients to analyze trade flows, optimize execution efficiencies, and benchmark their performance against the EBS community. But it's for FX. It looks like so. Doesn't look like something that would really affect us, but still cool. China eases foreign costs cross-border funds registration. Well, damn, I'm too old. You're too old to be a mass shooter. That's all I'm saying. You're not too. So for trading, you're like, you're in the prime age group, right? Like retail traders these days, they're like 30 to 50, which is kind of funny because trading used to be a young buck game, right? But ain't nobody got the money. Goldman Sachs FOMC preview. How far will the Fed take the quote-unquote patient theme? What did they say? The new approach reflects a shift in the committee's view of inflation risks that could prove more enduring than the impact of FCI tightening. Fed officials have increasingly downplayed upside inflation risks by pointing to better anchored inflation expectations and a less steep Phillips curve, questioning the wage price link and downplaying the relevance of historical episodes of inflationary overheating. The December dots showed a median projection of 2 hikes in 2019, 1 hike in 2020, and no hikes in 2021 for a terminal funds rate of 3 to 3.25%. In March, we expect the median dot to show just 1 hike over the forecast horizon, most likely in 2020, for a terminal funds rate of 2.5 to 2.75 if they right. Right. Overall, we still see a December hike as the most likely outcome under our forecast of growth modestly above trend and core inflation modestly above 2%. But the margin of error is relatively small, so that the risks are tilted toward delay, and our probability-weighted forecast is now 0.4 net hikes for 2019. Oh, so not even 1 hike. I gotcha. Okay, there's the open, by the way, was buying. You were in your 20s when you started, Uzi? So you've been doing this for like over 15 years then, yeah? It's definitely better if you start in your 20s. You know, like I could have started doing it right out of school. I didn't really realize. Started at 23, I'm 25. I thought I was old for a beginner trader. Yeah, my experience, well, we can look at it. I will show you. Let me pull it up here. YouTube. Oh, why am I logged in as... Oh, because this is Chrome. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Let's find it here. Maybe you don't get to see it on this current one. Here we go, demographics. Here we go. So here's the demographics of my YouTube videos, right? Over the past month. Let's make it like over the past let's do just over the past year. Okay. So you can see my demographic is 25 to 44. And by the way, all male. There probably are actually some women that watch, but that maybe YouTube isn't able to see them. I'm sure there's at least 1 or 2. But it is by and large mostly men. And you can see the view duration. The younger guys tend to watch more, I guess. 79% of the video, that's pretty good. Start to do watch time. There you go. Anyways. Oh, no activity for this arrange. Anyways. So most of our traders are a little on the older side. I I remember telling Jesse Livermore he should go long in Edison's company. Oh man. Uh, Petrobras rejected by U.S. Supreme Court on oil drilling suit. Well, so far the E-mini has pretty good buying. Haven't really seen a real counter move yet, and this move did not beat out the last swing, which was the overnight high, which is concerning to me. What is that sound in the background? Well, obviously, I am in an office with a lot of people yelling. It's we have to get in there and destroy that recording. Okay, so Ace is not a fan of the background noise. And the thing is, I can always, like, there are things I can do, right? Like, I can change it down a little bit more. There you go. Because I want it to be very, very, very quiet. Just like static. Just so that you know, like, the stream is still going. It's worked pretty well on loop though. It's like a 2-minute thing, and we've had this going much more than, oh, it's 4 minutes, but I think we've been having this going much longer than 4 minutes. Ooh. Oh, no, just Forex Live saying U.S. stocks open mixed. Dow law lags. The soft music would be my choice, but hey, it's your room, yes? There's wrong agreeing with the soft music. I mean, I like the soft music too. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure I can do it. I don't know. The music was okay. The thing is there's always going to be a slight disagreement, you know, amongst 32 people or so that we have regularly view the stream. You know, at least one person is going to dislike it, right? So there was some people that didn't like the background music. Mostly I was just testing it to see how you guys react. So I might not even just play it through the whole thing. I kind of like hearing it though. Like, I don't know. I just like having the background noise, I guess. But if that's the thing that I'm going for, I can turn that off, and so that only I can hear it. So. I kind of want to see. I can like watch the viewership numbers and to see if it makes a difference and stuff like that. So I feel that, or I'm afraid, based off of some of the. Can you make a poll? Well, if everybody was on, if everybody was on Twitch, then we could do a poll. But on YouTube, I don't think that we can do polls, can we? Well, let's check here. Pretty sure that there's no way for me to. No. Nope. You are the background noise. Can you make a poll silence music or pin screams? Yeah, on Twitch, I think there's a way to do it, but I'm not exactly sure what the correct way is. It's in here somewhere. I'd have to look it up again, but there's a way for me to make polls on Twitch. Oh, Donald Trump tweeted also, fake news media is working overtime to blame me for this horrible attack in New Zealand. They will work very hard to prove that one. So ridiculous. Interesting. I thought that he was going to tweet about this, but that wasn't like what I expected to be the only thing that he tweets about. And I don't think that the media is going to react very well to his only response to the New Zealand shooting is that they blame him. They're going to say, you should be more concerned about the rise of white nationalist terrorism. Yeah, I don't mind the music since I come here for interaction when the market is not moving and I don't see a trade. Right. Okay, Adrian took his trade off because it didn't have any follow through. I don't know if this thing is ever going to actually move. The thing is that through this whole thing, in ZN at least, the volume has been down. Okay. E-mini took a slight pause and they're moving higher again. Let's see if they break the overnight high. Oops, there we go. It's kind of weird. So like, let me turn it off here. Now I'm sitting here like, how did I? Because I couldn't even imagine what it was like before I turned that on. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny. Oh, that makes a big difference. Background noise. Oh, we'll see. I think that maybe I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, the cumulative, at no point in the 10-year was the volume ever actually to the upside. You can see it here on this cumulative delta. There was not, they only bought enough to make it tick up, and that was it. And the E-mini is moving higher. So now they have made a new high. Okay. It was all just iceberg buying. Yeah. I don't know. This whole action is just a little bit odd. I'm thinking that I could sell it, but I don't know if 27.5 is a good price to do it at. You know, if I could get 28, that would be okay. See, that's probably just correlated, but I turned it off and like viewers immediately went down to 21 from 24. They liked the background noise that much, guys. It's probably just because it's 7:45. Well, shouldn't freak out if it downticks at 27.5. That price should go back and forth quite a bit. Still too quiet to take a trade, I think. Okay. There is some buying coming into the 5-year. Should keep an eye on that. Also, this latest bar I'm seeing in ZN, it looks like they're absorbing quite a bit here. E-mini really taking a good run that time. And they're going to come back a little bit. So I'm wondering here. So the E-mini need to pull back a little bit. And if it does, will we move up in treasuries or not? I'm still seeing the 5-year buy. I think that to do something, I need to see a stronger indication of something happening. Well, okay. That iceberg at 0.0 quarter might be one such indicator that we would look for in ZF to see that something is happening. Exxon Baytown, Texas refinery large crude unit restarted expected by early April, says sources. It's interesting to me how much, you know, a refinery or this sort of a thing being up or down seems to matter to crude traders. It's like that sort of stuff must be. I would have thought that sort of thing would be happening way too much to make anything of. But that doesn't appear to be the case. They're gonna tick up? Maybe. Okay. There it is. So I don't see any kind of correlation anywhere with this. Not the 6J, not the currencies, not oil. And it's positively correlated with equities. But that may just mean that equities are happy that rates are probably going to stay low through the remainder of the year. Hmm. And that's an interesting pattern there in the cumulative delta in the E-mini. I don't think that that's like a ton of volume, but I think that that could continue. That little spike right there, that is like a good rotation actually. We could continue to go up. Oh look, there's a big old honking order right there at 28.37.75. He moved it down a little bit. Curious. I don't think it could buy it here though in the E-mini. So hmm. Hmm. Okay, I get it. So they were waiting for me to exit my position to buy. Okay, well, you're getting a little bit of negative delta in the mini now. I think that this is worth taking. Let's see what we can get here. 5-minute warning. Oh, yes, that's right. We do have some numbers coming up at the top of the hour. The NAHB Housing Market Index with a forecast of 63 and a previous month of 62. Okay. Well, they are selling pretty hard, but they're holding on there at 28.37 so far. Hmm. Funny how they make, tick. Okay, good, tick. Okay, let's hit this one. Nope. Unwind the whole thing. Okay. Now there's 700 there, 28, 36 and a quarter. And they're iceberging ahead of it too. And that moved up. Buyback blackout period begins just as bears capitulate. Says Zero Hedge. It's reading here. Hmm. Well, it seems like I did get my sell, but that it's just not going. That's enough of a push up that I'm a little concerned. Especially since it was kind of a counter trend trade. Like I would want it to go and just go, you know. Shouldn't come up. I should never go negative on me. Now, the 10-year did get buying up in there. 1 minute warning. Uzi turns out 46 was money, granted half an hour later, but still. All right. Well, we're going to get the housing numbers here in just a second. Remember, we're looking for 63. 63. Actual 62 versus an estimated 63. E-mini doesn't seem to be affected too much. I would think that would be positive for treasuries overall. But just a teeny, teeny, tiny little out on underperformance. So, man. I may just end the day without a trade. Well, I guess I took one that was break even. These numbers that are coming in here are 12-month BTF auction. I don't know what that is. It's not on my calendar. I mean, they're making it look like they're going to try and take 29 in the 10-year. And ZB continues to be ahead of the curve. Oh boy. Utrecht shooter's Twitter account suggests revenge for New Zealand mosque murders. So it's very disappointing, folks. Brexit leader, we may be stuck with May's deal. Wonder how much it's going to. I think that they probably are going to try and take 29, but how much is it going to take? So there's going to be at least 5K there, right? And there's been absorption in the last 2 ticks. E-mini looks like to me like a little too far. Let's see here. Let's look at this. I mean, but the buy-in here is like super bullish. But they could just be going to 28.76. And it concerns me that it's on, oh, hey, the Federal Reserve is going to be easy. That's what it looks to me like the impetus for this impulse is. Let's check that with CNBC. What are they saying? Home builder sentiment holds steady despite a decline in mortgage rates. Is their headline? Desperate to get through to executives, some cybersecurity vendors are resorting to lies and blackmail. Yeah. It seems to me like it takes a bit to get people to take cybersecurity seriously. I try to keep up on it, but I'm sure that they're vulnerable in some way or another. Okay, they took 29. It took 4,000 to do it. They did fight back, but the bid held. Well, right here, the VWAP is the open. So could we extend from here, maybe? Let's reset the DOMs. Hmm. They are able to make it go offer at 29. Not much trading here now. They came up there, they did all that, and now it's just nothing. Now, okay. 3,000 into 29.5. Well, I don't know if that price is going to go offer, though. Let's see. Interesting. I'm just going to. Should be careful. There could be lures around here. Probably, if we really are gonna top off it and turn around here, we would want to see the signal in the 30-year. What'd you got here, Yoda? More industries are hit by negative growth than they were in 2015, especially energy. Yes, because oil has just been super bad. Oh, it was really, really bad in 2015, though. UP is like, nope, I'm going for hack. Well, we are getting a little bit of something there at 04. Okay, there they took it for 48. So there still continues to be a lot of iceberg. The E-mini looks a little bit more negative now. I don't like these kind of nodes right here. I might look to sell the 30 if it holds. See, they took the 04 for 800 and now they're probably going to do another iceberg here at 05. And the E-mini came back there strongly. I should have just taken that there in that node and taken it off over here. Could have gotten my 8. Well, for this to happen, I think that we would need to see a sell in the ZB now. The Fed pulls the strings. That's what's wrong with the markets. Or maybe it's just one day. The ES fell there pretty nicely, I have to say. What? CME to wind down Bitcoin futures, which started in 2017 after their June contract expires? Is that for real? How is it? I don't see that anywhere else. Okay, so I don't see anything on any of the Bitcoin subreddits yet. I'm only seeing it from First Squawk. That is wild news if that's the case. I'm not. Well, there is some selling in Bitcoin. There is some selling in Bitcoin in the futures. About 130 selling so far. Brexit. UK's Hunt says discussed Brexit with UK foreign ministers. They want it resolved and they fear Brexit paralysis. Okay, here, my Ameritrade has a link for us. Thank you. The first U.S. exchange company to launch Bitcoin futures has pulled the plug on them, the latest sign that mainstream financial firms are losing their enthusiasm for cryptocurrencies. CBOE Global Markets Incorporated said in a notice to traders last week that it does not currently intend to list additional XBD contracts for trading. And then that's all I can see because of the paywall. That's crazy. My order did not hit there. Well, they pulled a little bit. 992 went into it. It did not trade. It's interesting that the crypto market is not immediately reacting to this. It is not slamming the wires like you would think. I'm super surprised though that they would be canceling them now. I suppose that there's just not enough volume in them, or perhaps they feel like that they're too manipulated, or maybe they're having problems with them. I guess you would still have the other exchange, right? The options exchange will have it. I think if I had a ton of money to go short in Bitcoin right now, I would go short it, and then I would go and submit it to Reddit because it seems like that Reddit doesn't know yet. Sell. We'll see. Like the thing is, Bitcoin is way overbought here, and this is very negative news, and it hasn't moved yet. That it seems to me like a good opportunity. Does it not? Except for that, it's really hard to sell Bitcoin, right? That's why the futures exist. I suppose the futures ending is maybe a net positive because of that. Oh, except for that, you still have the options exchange one, so I guess it doesn't really matter that the CME is canceling it. I think the CME is realizing though that its retail traders are just, small. So they're introducing micro contracts. They're realizing we need to get little guys in. It's good. Okay, so there was a good move up. This is where I could potentially short it. Yeah. And on this side, it's not the same situation as before, so take that off so I could focus on this. So far, so good. It's probably going to do that step back out 3 steps again thing. U.S. may continue ratcheting up Russia sanctions, says Volker. U.S. won't reach a deal with EU without agriculture, says Purdue. Yep. Yes, I have a video about that on the channel Dojo about the E micro ES and NQ. That's why I am taking some simulated trades in ES so that we can trade those, so that we are prepared to trade them when the time comes. Okay. So a little bit of support here at 28.38.50 now that we've come back up. Seems to me that the bulls are still trying. If we get some accelerated selling here, we could have a head and shoulders pattern. Head and shoulders with the double head. Double top, head and shoulders. This is an interesting pattern. It's not the first time that I've seen it before. But we need to see the selling for it to happen. We need to see the selling down to 28.36. And it should accelerate. So it's not confirmed pattern yet. But I think that it is a very promising looking pattern. Almost a little bit too promising. Okay. So they're still just taking it in steps. Unfinished at the bottom there, but they did tick up. 2 ticks, in fact. And the bid at 29.5 in the 10-year is still at 3,500. With about 1,000 having traded both ways. And I don't like that big order at 28.38. You see all the orders stacking up just below that last, right below the neckline though. Right in there. Okay. So they sold into that big order. Haven't cleared it yet. This is a little bit thicker. Okay, they hit 29.5 and there's a big iceberg. Vengeance says he's got out of his long. Let's give him some permissions. Still kind of just holding here. And the 10-year did tick down at 29.5. I don't know. When it does tick down, it seems to do so very easily. The E-mini, that is. Economist Alan Kruger dies. Ex-Obama advisor. IHOP plans to open its first location in Pakistan by the end of the year, with more than 18 more franchises on the way. Okay. That's the way that we're going to create peace in the world, guys. Pancakes. Like that 29.5, it ticked up again. You're not going to eat there? Why not? I wonder what they would have, because, you know, like, they're going to have to come up with different sides, right? I guess it could be turkey bacon. I'm okay with turkey bacon, I guess. Still. Pancakes are the lazy man's waffles. Okay, something just happened. That's odd. 6J went down big time too. I see BMO, we are actively stockpiling recession provisions along with reading material for our economic bunker. No, that's not it. Well, something happened. If I was in Pakistan, I'd want to immerse themselves in their culture. Well, of course. Not going to a McDonald's in Greece. Well, so when I went to New York, Um, of course, I did eat a couple of nice. Well, I don't want to say nice places, but like iconic places, like that pizza place underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. Oh my gosh, so great. But for the most part, I just ate it like Subway and stuff because it was super effing cheap. It was like way cheaper than any any local place. Like any local place, you were spending like $10, and then you can go to Subway and it was like $5. This was a couple of years ago, but and they at the time I was on a business trip and they give us a lunch stipend, a food stipend, and I didn't even spend like 10% of it on the food. And that's how I bought these headphones. Because these were brand new, like $600 headphones when I got them. So I don't know. I'm cheap like that. I would suppose, though, that in Pakistan, probably most food wouldn't be too expensive. When I travel, I have a rule to never go to a place I could go to here at home. Hmm. I'm a cheapskate. I'll just go wherever is cheap. Supreme Court agrees to take up DC sniper case. I wonder what that move was. That was really weird. If I had kept that order over here, I would have taken me short. And I don't think that I don't know. They both fell. Okay. Well, there was a bubble. There is a bubble here. How much was it? It was 1249 taken. This is where if we decide to push through this profile, then you could really get the extension. And I think that we would have to be looking at maybe the VWAP as a target. But as of yet, I still haven't even gotten 8 ticks. They're still trying to hold it. Trader, FOMC needs to lead, not quote unquote follow the market. Well, that's a point. Okay. So they're selling. I don't know if I could say that it's accelerating quite so, but definitely seeing something. I think that my spot right here is good. Does US have any of their own food, like something I have to try when I visit there? Burgers. So of course it's the American food is the hamburger, right? And Chinese food, right? It's true though. We invented Chinese food. So funny. Ace went short at 28.37.50. Cool. So if it's 39 to 36, then you could potentially see 3 more from 36. So we could potentially see 33. I don't know. I'm interested to know where, well, Ace would be looking for just 8 ticks, right? So. But there's a VWAP here, and I'm afraid that there's going to be some support there. So I think I'm just going to take my plus 16. If I sell now in CB, I can get that 2K order out of the way for a rally. You're interesting. There is a big, and remember when we saw the big order like that the other day, moved it. If it goes the same way that it did before, then that means that the treasuries are going to sell. Although if the E-mini is coming down, the treasury is selling down too, it doesn't seem to make much sense, does it? Okay, so this has to move to here now. Ace, I've already hit the profit target plus from that long. Oh, there it is accelerating. Okay, I think it qualifies. Well, I still don't see anything hitting the wire. Um, there was some sell volume there on the break of the neck. That would indicate that we would go to 28.30. I want to stick with my plan though. Not sure if that's going to actually fill. $2K is selling in the 10-year while $1K buys the 30-year. There's some definite spreading going on in the treasuries. I'm not sure what to make of it though. I'm wondering if we're gonna. I think that the target for this Head and Shoulders should be 28.30, but I don't know. I'm a little skeptical all of a sudden. See that? I think I just have to take that right there. Jeez. Make me take this one, huh? All right. It actually did touch my my order for a moment. Hmm. So that was 6,000 at one point. They've hit into it at 28.5, and it's didn't actually stack more. There's a 5-year. Not really going. There's a big order down below us though, and that's been moving around. It's still just not quite going, does it? It's like you can see it doing the thing, and then it just dies down. Well, the E-mini is getting close to where I would have been getting filled. 3 ticks away again. I'm seeing a lot of divergences in both treasuries and equities. So equities, they're, you know, equal to same cumulative delta as the open now. So everybody's closed their trades and we're a little bit higher. And given that we had a head and shoulders break there, I think that that kind of negated the whole head and shoulders pattern thing. Treasuries, the ZN continues to just sell, even though we're much higher, 28.5. There's, of course, an iceberg there, 28.5. E-mini actually held pretty positively there. So that was really bullish. Treasuries don't seem to care what the E-mini is doing right now. They seem to be awfully thick, though. How did I detect the iceberg at 28.5? I mean, I didn't really know for sure. But it's just like if I see 2,000 trade into a price and the level 2 doesn't really change, you know, it's a pretty good chance that there's going to be an iceberg behind it. And you look at that, I thought that one was for sure going to be like a 5K iceberg too. But now you can see it traded up. So I'm going to just scratch it. Okay. If I had a nickel for every time that you said that what, there was going to be an iceberg somewhere? I don't know. The other thing though is that it's just been, I mean, as of lately, it's been really thick, so they've kind of been having to trade 5,000 to get through every price lately, haven't they? Yeah, that one didn't really turn out. I mean, it might do something now, but I think that the trade that I had in mind right there just got destroyed by the ZB buying again. And this one in the E-mini, I think it was a very, very good head and shoulders pattern. It kind of seemed like there was accelerating sell volume, but it wasn't super strong. And then when they broke, there was a big amount of volume, but then it just didn't go, you know. So when it came back up to there, that's I got out because I was like, okay, that's not the way the head and shoulders should work. So we still got money out of it. Does pulling and stacking help? I mean, help to determine if there's an iceberg there, or I think so. I mean, the way that I think about it, the Treasury e-mini connection, which I'm not convinced exists. Oh, it definitely exists. Statistically, there's about a 50% correlation inverse with them. It's an inverse correlation, but it's about a 50% correlation. So it's not exact, but it definitely exists. And the reason it exists is because when somebody buys the e-mini to hold a contract through to the close of that contract, they have to hedge themselves against interest rate changes. And so they take a corresponding trade over here. That's why you see it more strongly at the beginning of contracts than the beginning of months. So it's definitely a thing. I'm too lazy to pull up the little thing that shows you like the correlations between different instruments, but it's definitely a thing. Flipping coins is a 50% correlation. Well, I mean, if it was random, then it would be like a 0 to 10% correlation, right? 50% is pretty correlated. I guess 50% means something a little bit different when we're talking correlation, doesn't it? Okay, well, they took out 28.5 again. I'm not sure that they're going to hit into 28, but maybe my trade was a good one. I still, though, I think, man, I don't know. This buying right here in ZB is enough to make me not want to take it, but then they did sell it again. So it seems like they're just kind of being a little bit choppy. So if it does it, I'm probably okay, even though, yeah. And the Bitcoin futures did sell, but price has not moved. Oh wow, it's 8:52. I didn't even realize. Okay, so I need to post my notes. Okay, well, I mean, they've hit into 28.5, but it's not really moving. So I think that I did the right thing. I'm actually really happy, given that I took some scratches and one real actual trade. I'm actually pretty happy with what I did, and only one trade in the E-mini, and it actually was an okay trade that I could have gotten a tick off of. But on a day like this, I think that there's a tendency to want to trade it a lot, even though it's just really not moving. So it's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, and yet neither one of us is a millionaire yet. Well, that remember I don't work at Goldman anymore. I used to. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's a correlation. There's not enough of a correlation that you can actually like trade it and make money from it. Like that's the thing. I think that the best you can do is you can use the correlation to determine what is driving the market at that time. I think that that's the usefulness of it. I don't think you can actually take a trade off of it. You can maybe use it as like a stop or a profit target, but not, you know, like if I see that treasuries seem to be moving one way and equities seem to be moving another way, and I see strong resistance in the equities, and then, it gets there and then this one stops moving, that's like a good place to just take it off. Because clearly the correlation is part of what drove it, and now they're done, so you take it off. Anyways, yep, happy with what we got. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Check out my video, even though, Beto did raise a lot of money. Just ignore that one part of the video. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, stay profitable, friends.